Hi, this is Nemesis Stars, and apparently me, my mom, and my sister all went to the Showcase Cinema in Teesside. Um, we all went to see Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is why I'm wearing this shirt. So apparently actually was actually better than the first one. There was a lot more in it. So there was a lot of it actually, which I was glad to see in the second one. There's a lot of expectations which could lead to the third one, and such. Basically, um, so basically, I'm gonna break it down, because this is also gonna be classed as a like smart light video. So really what happens is basically there's a bunch of animatronics. The old ones are actually missing, and they don't come back until like later on in the movie. Which, until basically Mike actually asks for their help. Also with Michael Afton making an appearance, which is fantastic. Vanessa becoming possessed, which I think is great because it would lead towards the whole her becoming Vanny in a future film, which could happen in the end because she could end up like making like this Vanny mask and so on, whatever. Which I think basically could lead to her going through like insanity and stuff like that and whatever. Also, seeing Circus Baby, basically that could literally lead towards a future movie as well, because she's important as well, Circus Baby. And then there's like the withered animatronics. They're actually terrifying as well. Basically, they're awesome, especially with how they look and how creepy they look. I also think they're actually again fantastic. I like basically the way it goes in the story as a whole. With like to do with like um pizzeria taking place before the other pizzeria, which is basically to do with the little girl that actually dies at the start of it. Which she actually becomes this animatronic. I think it's called the puppet and the whatever you really call it. I don't know. But basically becomes this like thing that comes out of this box and whatever, and actually controls the other animatronics. So basically, I'd be glad to wear the um. So basically, there was a bit of haunting from Willie and basically Afton, which hunting basically Vanessa, which is fantastic because it goes with the whole haunting thing. Especially since it literally could lead to another character that could literally be involved in the story somehow, in the future, which I basically could actually somehow connect to a little boy called Oswald, because he was one of the kids that was attacked, except it was to do with a ball pit, which basically the ball pit is basically one of the things we saw in the first one. So basically, depending on which film literally could lead to that and whatever, there's a lot of things that could lead to different versions of the films and whatever. So basically, I'm glad I went. So basically, I'm glad I've actually watched the movie and whatever. And personally, I think William Afton might actually start stalking more, in the third film if it got made. Possibly because he was found in a room, so that would actually hint at him actually roaming the halls and whatever more, in the end of whatever, leading to like, more stuff. So that really could happen at some point in the future, so um basically, like I would with all like Five Nights at Freddy's, I basically movies, I always give them like a perfect 10. So basically, this one I definitely give it a 10. The second one, because it actually did add to the whole expectations thing. All the characters and such, and the lore, whatever. I mean, again, Blumhouse did it again. Basically making the movie perfect. I'm basically hoping that more movies get made after that were due to how well basically it receives and how well it did, and such. And it was also great to see basically a bunch of other characters show up and whatever. Like there was one character that was like this teacher guy, which he seemed like I feel like I recognized him from another movie. I forget which movie it was now. But I don't know if it was from like Jurassic Park. Which was the chubby guy that got basically eaten by the Dillos. Um, I'm not sure. He just kind of looked like the sort of actor that did. Cause he had that like face. But yeah. But yeah, basically with all the animatronics mixing in one bundle. Basically you've got like the good versus the bad and whatever. Basically with the originals actually basically fighting against the other ones, which again is perfect because it adds to the whole basically coming back, and then the kids basically that were trapped within the ones from the first one finally being set free after what they have done and whatever, because in the first one they weren't actually set free. They only trapped William in the room, but they were never actually set free until they they're pretty much at the end of the second film. They actually did become free, because the little boy actually claimed to basically finally have been set free because he left the pizzeria. Basically all the others actually did and whatever. I also liked when Foxy made his familiar noise or whatever that he would use when he's hunting. Foxy was amazing. Again, it was absolutely brilliant. So yeah. So basically that's all I'm going to say for today's video and whatever. We will basically make another 5 Minutes at Freddy's review in the future and whatever, so stay tuned for that, and yeah.